We're gonna power through this. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another vlog. It is 2024. My goodness. Can you believe it? It's a new year. Yay! You know what that means. New year, new goals, bigger and better opportunities, and yeah, I love the new year. I love starting over or just continuing where I left off. And today's video is all about my 2024 goals and intentions, aspirations, and everything that comes with it. A lot of my favorite influencers and vloggers have been making their rounds with this kind of content recently, and I really wanted to jump on the bandwagon. Like I have so many ideas and so many goals, and I thought, you know what? Why not share it with you guys too? Because I know part of what helps make you successful is to share with others. So I figured I would come on here and just lay it all out there for you, lay it on the table, and hopefully it'll help maybe motivate you, inspire you. It certainly keeps me on task, which is really important because I see everything shiny and everything's out the window. So that is what today's video is going to be about. And if you want to hang out with me and talk about that, just make sure you grab your favorite beverage. And yeah, let's get started. Whew, that's a lot of water. So 2023 was the year I laid my foundation. That is the mindset that I set off with at the beginning of the year. Actually, I set off the year with an even bigger intention than I originally was able to live up to. And it was hard. As someone who's always been a go-getter and somebody who has always set high intentions and bars and limits for themselves and has always made action plans and goals, I was absolutely devastated to see them just fall apart, dissipate in front of me, and I've never had to pivot so much in my life. It was a really hard thing. I had so much imposter syndrome last year. I had then intended to launch a website, rebranded my business, and then of course the wildfires in Lahaina, Maui happened, and I just completely 180, threw everything out the window, and Max and I started the Kokua for Maui Foundation fundraiser, and we raised over $2,000 that we were able to give back to the people of Lahaina in the best way that we know we could, and that's through service and advocacy. And we did that for the rest of the year. And then I dropped the ball on business applications for like different markets. I showed up just not prepared to most of those markets. I dropped the ball on my website. So it was one thing after another that snowballed. It happens, right? We're good. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. Because this year is a new year. If 2023 was the year that I laid my foundation, 2024 is the year I am building up. And up is the only direction that I'm headed. 2024 is going to be big. And I mean huge. So we're focusing more on content creation. I'm focusing more on YouTube. I'm focusing on a website refresh even. And working on markets, of course, all in the interim, along with everything that kind of like filters through in between, with the intention of going up and building upon what I already laid down in 2023. I've separated goals and intention into two categories. One being my personal aspirations and goals that I want to do in my life, and of course for my business. One of the things that I was really struggling with last year in 23 was content creation. I had big plans, big dreams. I planned it all out. I even did the majority of it, but I just never posted. And consistency is key. And just with the volume of content that I create, the more consistent and the more natural it will be. That's pretty much something that you can apply to any aspect in your life, right? So, with 2023, I am going big with content and providing more about vintage goods. I'm taking you thrifting with me. If you didn't catch my last thrifting video of 2023, you'll see how quickly that began and ended. And then, of course, I want to share with you my favorite resources, where I go thrift, and yeah. We're going in deep with that one. One of the biggest changes that I'm making for my website this year is actually in reaction to you guys. I've had a lot of requests on how to care for vintage goods, how to organize them, where to find them, and it's kind of like a lot of lifestyle aspect of things. When I first started this, I had zero intention to become a lifestyle content creator. I really just wanted to share all my interest of vintage, how to take care of it, and a little picture or two here and there of how I style things. And it sounds like you guys just want more than that. With this, I am launching a lifestyle section on my website. Currently, I have in my home, in my wardrobe, and I realized that a lot of things that I started to create in response to what you guys wanted really didn't match either one of those categories. So it is necessary to create a lifestyle section for you guys, because that's what you like, and why not? We'll give it a try, right? A really quick side note, we have a little crazy one. Aku is going a little bananas with her Chewy in the background. And she does this on a daily basis. So if you hear something weird, it's not me. It's definitely her. One big, really key aspect of businesses in general these days are email subscriptions, particularly to a newsletter. One thing I did not realize I would enjoy so much was actually writing newsletters to you guys. If you aren't aware, I write a monthly newsletter where I give you big recaps of everything that happened in the month, as well as updates with the Curious Aesthetic, any markets I'm doing, how the fundraiser went, etc., etc. So it is free to subscribe. Please subscribe, and it's really fun. I think it's the most cumulative. Cumulative is the correct word. Cumulative. Information that you can keep up to date with without having to go on social media, without having to visit the website, without having to call me, text me, direct message me, email me. It just comes to you like once a month. I don't bombard anybody with all these crazy emails because I don't like that myself. But it's fun to receive emails and updates from my favorite content creators. So I really thought that maybe you guys would like that as well. And so I do recommend to subscribe to my newsletters, and with that, I want to be more in depth with them. I'm already pretty good with them, but I want to just kind of take them to the next level, you know? The next thing I really want to focus on is my physical aspect of the Curious Aesthetic, being markets that will be done in person, as well as up my inventory online. I have issues with Etsy. Like, if I've talked to you in person already, I mean, you know my frustration. Etsy is a very great starting point, but I think when you want to make it a viable business and you do not have a digital download product, Etsy is expensive. They take minimum 20% of sales, and if somebody found you via a targeted marketed ad from Etsy, it's another 20%, and we don't have the option to opt out. So what maybe took, several, we'll say like, 30 hours to complete, create, plus your cost of goods, plus all your time of creating an online listing. They take 40% plus tax, plus the 20 cents for 3 months, which I know 20 cents is not a lot. But I'm just saying, like, when you add up everything and all the costs that it goes into having a sale on Etsy, it's a lot. And so part of why I got rid of Etsy, that's not true. I still have to break up with Etsy. My shop is still alive. Not for long. That's so bad. Yeah, we gotta break up with Etsy. I started my online shop intentionally because I wanted to get away from Etsy. Etsy is a great starting point, but for someone like me who is no longer in the beginning point of their shop experience, it makes no sense. So I pay, way less a month for my self-hosted website, and my online shop needs to reflect that. So I will be going heavily with inventory postings for first quarter. Gee, guys, I've been drinking water. I've been doing dry January, and I don't know why I can't talk right. Anyways, I'm going to focus heavily on inventory postings and listings and just marketing that. So you guys always know kind of like what I have in stock, as well as what to expect, what you can expect to see when you come to visit me in in-person markets. Another thing in response to you guys is I'm going to be heavily stocking homewares. I love vintage housewares. In fact, this giant mirror, it doesn't really look that big here, but it's probably a good 3.5 feet by 2.5 feet across. Maybe it's close to 4 feet. It's big. It's over half the size of me, and I'm 5'10". So it's a big mirror. That's vintage. And actually this little this oval mirror that I have standing up against the wall, that's vintage too. I love homewares, and actually I have my beautiful lamp as well. That's also vintage. So majority of things in our home are vintage, and I really want to source more of that for you guys. I want to share with you guys what you can do and how you can repurpose things that were made and created with an intention in one era, and what you can do with it now, right? It's all about recycle, reuse, repurpose. I also noticed a lot of places online, I don't know if I should say it. You know what? Whatever. It's about being real here. Target has really good replicas, but you're paying $30-$40 for a cheap replica, where you can have the real deal brass for $15, along with Studio McGee, or was it McGee & Co? McGee & Co is the big one. They have a gorgeous vintage section, but honestly, I think their stuff is way overpriced. Same with Rejuvenation and Anthropology. They have these beautiful vintage pieces that they do source, but they just charge way too much, in my opinion. Of course, they probably can because they're a brand name, but I intentionally do not charge anywhere near that because I want them to be accessible. I want people to be able to find these things and use them every day and not feel like they have to store them away to use for only special occasions. That's dumb. That is totally dumb. So yeah, I'm going to source a whole bunch more of homewares because a lot of you guys just prefer that versus the vintage clothing, which I love. But we're just not there yet at this time, and that's okay. And of course, the very last thing that I am focusing on, which I think I had it wrong all along, but I think I get it now. Instagram. I am going to be so much better and more consistent with posts on Instagram. I want to have better correlation with my YouTube video content. It just makes sense from a business content creation standpoint. And of course, there will be a lot more frequented social media, particularly with stories. Stories are going to be like my jam. And I want to be accessible for you guys. Like, I want you to feel that if you see something really cool at Target and you're like, oh, Cass, like, is this a replica? Or is this something new? You know, how can I find this? I want to support small business. I want to find something like this, but thrifted, vintage. Where would I go? Where can I find this? And that's the kind of things that I'm going to be better at interacting with on Instagram. So those are the 5 things for business wise. I definitely made a list. If you don't know me in person, I am a highly functioning type A person. So I'm focusing more on content creation this year, doing a big website refresh for you guys, getting better at email subscriptions, doing stuff for markets and my shop online as far as like applying for additional markets strategically, and obviously upping my inventory online for you guys and Instagram. So those are big tasks, and we'll get to the point on how I'm actually going to make this all happen. But I want to like take a quick hot second to talk about my personal goals, because while business goals are great, I'm still human. I am a wife. I'm a homemaker. I'm a dog mom, and I work a full-time job outside of this. So I'm a busy person, and I think personal goals are really important for everybody. And again, I'm totally fine sharing them with you guys because it all like wraps up together. So I'm not going to spend nearly as much time on these as I did before with the business stuff, but a few personal goals are: I want to get better at time management. I either put things, I'm extreme. I either put something off, or I do so many things at one time that I just blow off everything. I forget about myself, and I need to put myself first, right? So that I can be better for everybody else around me. And so with that, I want to establish like nighttime routines, daytime routines, more like guidelines, so that I can just have some sort of like consistency. There's that word again. Consistency. Probably going to be my mantra word of the year or something. I don't know. So I mentioned earlier, I have a day job, and unfortunately I sit in an office for hours and hours and hours. And unfortunately, like, that's how it is for majority of us. So I'm not complaining about that, but it is a goal of mine to move 30 minutes a day. Whether that's power walking, whether that's strength training, whether that's gardening outside, just like consistency, being active on a daily basis. I do have a tracker for that, so I can hold myself accountable to completing that task specifically on a daily basis. Another thing I really want to do is drink 100 ounces of water a day, which actually is not a big problem for me in the summertime, but it's a massive problem for me in the winter. It's cold. I don't like cold water. I like room temp. I hate my water cold. The only thing I like colder on a rock is spirits, which is pointless because it's dry January. And beer. I like my beer cold. But back to water. I have this mug. I'm sure a lot of you guys have it or have something similar to this. Yes, it's that brand that everybody has or wants or was going crazy for at Target. I'm that person. But unlike people who have one to match every one of their outfits, I have one that matches every one of my outfits. Black's my favorite color, so I just dove in, bought the damn thing. And yeah, so I have it, and it's amazing. I bought it because it holds 40 ounces. My previous water vessel had only like a 20 ounce capacity, And it was such a pain in the butt to go down and, fill it up every day, every like hour or two at the office during the summertime, or like I go through it completely when I'm on a long walk, and then, I'd be out of water and I'd be thirsty. Or even when I do my in-person markets, I usually have like 1 or 2 water bottles with me because I drink a lot of water and I can't really leave my booth if it's just me. So broke down, bought a big boy, and dude, I'm borderline obsessed. I'm that person with this mug, and I'm just missing a pair of Crocs right now. Is that bad? I said it. Yeah, Crocs. Just wait. I've got some on my watch list. Not gonna lie, but when you know that I've got my Stanley, my Crocs. I don't know what else is really popular these days. I don't know. When you see me walking around town like that at Jewel at like 6 a.m., that's when it's time to intervene. I'm just letting you know right now. I can't believe I forgot to mention this earlier. So, in addition to the personal stuff, I have all these DIY plans. Oh my gosh. One of the biggest changes that is happening this year. We're going to see it. I promise, because I am tired of looking at blank spaces. This right behind me, right? This whole section here, gone. You know what we're going to do? Built-in closet. Oh yeah, no, we're going big. I am doing a custom built-in closet wardrobe piece for all of the luscious vintage pieces that I have. It's gonna be cedar lined. We got this. And I'm gonna DIY it myself. I might change the color of this room too. That yet is to be determined. But I am tired of looking at white. We bought this house with intentions to be here about 3, maybe 5 years. We might be here a little bit longer. I'm not sure, but everything is going to be cozy-fied this year. I want it to be colors. I want additional artwork on the wall. Like our house is so bare. There's not much on here. And it's because I haven't been able to really find anything, but then I haven't been really focusing on it either. So that is changing this year. You're probably thinking to yourself, good God, Cass, like, how are you going to do all this? Well, I have a planner. I told you earlier I was a total type A person, and I didn't really realize it until recently, but it's true. It's completely true. I completely admit it, and honestly, I'm not sorry for it. I'm totally okay with it. So this is how I'm going to keep myself semi-sane, right? I have a personal planner. It's called Legend Planner. And then I have my blogging planner for my business stuff. Yes, I have 2 planners. And this one's bloody heavy. I think it was almost 4 pounds according to UPS. And I was like, holy smokes, that's a big boy. So yeah, we're going to start with this one. It's just really cool. I found it online. I think I found it on Amazon. It was recommended to me by the algorithm. Thanks. But I like how it's got a habit tracker. You've got your weekly setup, like a little area where you can just like put little notes and stuff. You have your weekly work to do. You have your personal to-do list. You have a weekly goal. And then you can also like note what kind of reward you're going to give yourself. And then I like this part too at the bottom is this week's wins and then how I'm going to improve next week. But they also break it down into quarters, which if you've ever read the 12-week year, this planner is kind of based off of that. So I've written in all my 3-month goals for quarter 1. And there's like action plan areas. I mean, it's pretty in depth. You also have like a yearly goals section that you then go into the different quarters and you break up those goals with different actions, different like areas that you want to improve in your life. I am not sponsored by Legend Planner, but this is pretty legit, and I have been obsessed with planners since the dawn of time. Seriously, I love stationery. Okay, so that was the personal one, and then of course my blogging one. So this is the first time that I've ever done something like this. I never was that person that thought I would need some sort of like blogging planner, content creation. Lies. I totally need this, and I've needed this, and I should have bought something like this last year, but honestly I didn't know it existed, or I knew it existed but I was just so overwhelmed by all the options that it was too much. So anyways, I found this. It's from the Daily, Dailee, and Sophia Lee is a blogger, and she created the Daily Planner because she found it necessary out of the people that followed her online and how she kept everything organized. Her stuff's amazing. If she's got a design firm now, and she does YouTube, and she talks about like productivity, content creation. If that's your jam, if you're on social media marketing, I'm not, but I am because of my business. So just really quick, there's obviously a 12-month breakdown. There is a yearly content plan. Imagine that. So I went through that, filled it out. And this is one thing I totally dropped the ball on last year. Holiday content planning. Yeah, that's massive. And just content planning in general. You can break it up by quarters, which is great. And then of course there is the monthly stuff. And I have weekly to-dos, but the one thing about this planner that my personal one doesn't have, but I'm okay with it, is absolute necessary to me, is the time blocking. I have such a tight schedule on some days. So in addition to my 9 to 5, my home responsibilities, of course we have the pupperoonie. I have this business that is very viable. It is not a hobby business anymore. I'm very proud and pleased to say. I also work out. 6 a.m. conditioning is very real, and 5:30 strength training is very real. I am starting business school because I don't have enough stuff to do. So I'm starting business school. It's online, thankfully. And it's an accelerated course. It's only 8 weeks. So, but it's going to be 8 weeks of madness, and I need to time block things. So, of course, here comes my type A personality. I bought highlighters. And they're really nice. They're very beautiful colors. They're not like annoying AF bright colors. And then I bought these from Amazon too because I freaking love sticky notes, and I like all the different colors. And again, they're not bananas. There's not like, highlighter yellow, the traditional highlighter ones, which there's nothing wrong with it. I don't like it. So I think there's like 2,000 sticky notes in this whole package. They're gonna get used. I'm gonna use them all. All of them. Worst case, I'll make an art project with them. So yeah, I have the tools necessary. I feel that I needed last year that I didn't have, to make this year a lot more successful than last year. So we'll see how it goes. I love the idea of checking in, maybe once a quarter. There's nothing wrong with that, with you guys, and seeing if there's anything that you'd like to see, that you want to learn more about, and things that you guys are looking for. This is just, it's not arbitrary. It's just, I wanted to come on here and share with you guys what my plans are. Last year was a great year for me, and my business. And I know this year is just going to be taken up to the next level because there's only one way, and that way is up. So please stick around. If you would like to subscribe, I would love for you to. It helps me out way more than you think. you really have no idea how much a simple subscription is. You don't have to watch the videos if you don't want to, or if you just want to do the videos and not subscribe. Please watch every single one because watch time is hugely important for me. Gotta love that algorithm. So yeah, guys, that is it. It's gonna be an amazing year, and I am super excited that, one, I've already started. I've already implemented some things, and I really hope that you stick around, find me on social media, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my newsletters, and keep up with the content that I'm putting out on my website. That's the biggest and main place for me to be. It's my hub, it's my online home, and yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!